Good morning, Youth Platform. Good morning to every single one of the viewers of KSTV Uganda. It is my awesome privilege to have you again on the Youth Platform. As always, as you may see, I'm not in studio today, but we are still going to have the same and awesome, beautiful experiences we always have on the Youth Platform, because we always bring you the hottest tea around. We always bring you the best people to listen from and actually get insight from. So today, I am going to have a conversation with someone very special. But before we get to that, I would love to actually tell all of you to be sure to follow us on all our social platforms, because why are you not following us? You'll have the latest news. You'll have all that is happening around KSTV. Did you see the new show that dropped? Did you see Bernard? It is an awesome show, a political analysis show. It is called NCMOC. I hope I pronounced that right. But yes, that is one of the shows that we're having now on KSTV. We're going to drop in right into our 5-minute devos, but today's 5-minute devos is actually going to be a bit short. Why? Because as we commemorate and as we think about, we come towards the period of Easter, I would love to just tell all of us that there is a verse that always resonates to me as we come towards this period, and that is John 3:16. And what does John 3:16 say? It's that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever shall believe will be given eternal life and shall not perish. Then that verse is the foundation of Easter. I hope most of you and all of you are going to come to the Good News Church for Easter Fest. It's going to be a blast. So you better come for Easter Fest. Wherever you are, please be sure to come for Easter Fest. But before that, there's actually something very huge happening at Good News Church, and that is going to be the Easter Fest. Yeah. Actually, yeah. That's the Easter Fest. That is one of the biggest things that we are going to have happening very soon. And I would also love to thank everyone that came for the Campus Connect, and that was on Friday. So thank you very much for all of you young people, all of you campusers, all of you that are out there that always make sure to come for Campus Connect. It is a very huge privilege to always have you. I have seen the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, and I've seen many of you actually turn and give your lives to Christ. And it is my awesome privilege to always be part of this community. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you again for telling other people to come as well. So as I was saying, our foundation to our faith is John 3:16, because God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, and if his Son did not come, our sins would not have been forgiven and not washed away. So today we're going to have a conversation with someone that I am very impressed about, and the stories he has to tell are also very impressive as well. So we're going to have a conversation with a poet, with someone that is in the creatives world, but not the creatives that we usually think about and we usually see, because most of the creatives that we see now are photographers, videographers, and editors. But there are also people that started, if I may say started the art, but are part of the art that used to be and that we sort of forgot. People that paint, people that create art, people that actually make art that we see and appreciate today. So let's go in and actually know who is this person and actually have a feel and understanding. How do these people make money? How do these people actually get inspired? What actually transpires in their heads and when they're thinking? Because I think most people, when we see the art pieces, we actually wonder, how do these actually come about? Does someone actually sit down and think about these things? Well, we're going to find that out today. And we're going right in and throw in our intro, and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, we are back again with Lus Aziz, and right now we're just going to try and understand a little bit of the basis of his art and everything that he does and why he does what he's doing. So I want to start by asking you, who is Lus?
Who is Lus? That's a hard question for an artist to answer, because there's Lus, then there's Lus the Poet, but I merged them a long time ago, so now I recognize them as one. Yeah, I've had friends who have trouble with that. Some friends kick me out of some conversations because they say when the conversation hits up, you just see an opportunity to perform. Lus is a retard, just like any other artist. We do not really self-sustain one identity. We self-sustain multiple. I might change my mind about anything that I have passionately believed in the moment I read that one quote. So even the answer I could give you now on who Lus is might be irrelevant. It might be incorrect tomorrow.
Yeah.
It could be 100% correct today and it might be incorrect tomorrow. I believe the best way to describe myself is that one, I'm a father. Lus is a father.
Okay.
Two, I am a vessel of everyone's reality. As an artist, I take on that curse. I deal with my own reality, but I also deal with yours. I am the guy you ask, why do you even care? Because I talk about things that otherwise can be ignored for better peace of mind. But I choose to keep pieces of your reality and the other one's reality and everyone's reality in my mind as you go on to be, with a peaceful mind. So I am the guy that looks back when the world is breaking down and everyone else is just moving on to, that side that is still safe. And I'm like, we could just fix this side. So I'm a custodian of history. My job is to reflect the times, obviously.
Yeah.
So if the times are a bit messy, you get to move on because I will care.
Yeah.
Without me, you won't have the privilege of just going on with your life.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of an artist, of Lus, of every other artist.
Yeah.
We give you more liberty by existing and doing what you do. We give you more liberty to just ignore. So I guess that I could also call myself a liberator. So a vessel of reality.
Yeah.
I'm a societal thinker. You guys, poets, we think for society.
Yeah.
We generate your thought structure. The way we think are the movies we write, and those movies we write are the movies you watch, and that's where you get your idea of romance. That's where you get your idea of if you want to, you would have.
Yeah.
Everything goes down to what the artist has done, or what the artist thinks about it,
Okay.
or what the artist feels about it. So technically, we do shape reality. It's a power that, if in the wrong hands, could be abused. I guess that's why politicians are not creative.
I'm yet to see our creatives getting into politics.
The only issue is once they get there, they lose this side because God won't let that imbalance happen.
Bro, I really want to see a creative in politics and whatever. Thank you very much for that introduction of yourself. So, more into the foundation of everything, more into what has built who you are.
Yeah.
What inspires you? Because it's a question that actually is most important to the art, to give perspective to everything you build and everything that you tell people that are watching or that are listening. What inspires you?
The shortest answer would be guilt. And more than you think, very many artists share that sentiment.
Yeah.
Most other things we create are things we care about.
Yeah.
But most of the things we care about now are not things we've always cared about. So the guilt of a time when you did not really care can lead you to making an awesome art piece. Artists never agree to this, but it is true, and it's true. However, for me, my guilt transcends. I do what people call political art or protest art. I really just call it psychology. I call it brave psychology because I'm also a psychology graduate.
Right,
And
guys, he does art and he graduated. You don't have to drop out.
so I come from a family of politicians and people in the army. My grandfather is the late Brigadier Waris Al-Fadul. He was Idi Amin Dada's right-hand man and also his brother. So I am a grandson of
Idi Amin.
Oh, yes, two of those few men of the 70s history in Uganda that people don't exactly appreciate because they did a lot of wrong things.
Yeah.
In they faulted just like every other politician and public servant and civil servant. So I come from a family that experienced the impact of their actions firsthand.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive in the 70s, obviously, but that impact is still in our home.
Yeah.
When I introduce myself and say, I'm Lus Aziz Al-Fadul, the Fadul does not always bring back the best memories for people who know or who were there at that time.
Yeah.
So they have a follow-up question that talks about loss of life due to that name. So I carry on a legacy of murders I did not commit, of injustices I did not partake in, of corruption that I did not, take. And that, over time, creates that transgenerational guilt. So my inspiration to begin doing protest art originally came from combating that guilt by just creating a broader shoulder to carry the weight that it comes with.
Yeah.
I didn't want to shy away because that is the history of my grandfathers.
Yeah.
And that history, no matter how much I did not pick pieces for, I still have to answer for it. So the art I create is my answer for it. It's my response to it. This is how I feel about my reality. This is how I feel about what led to my reality.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about how I see the next reality would look like if the mistakes that my grandfathers made are the mistakes that, our fathers are making.
Yeah, okay.
And the mistakes that we as fathers, we will make. We will still have another artist attempting to answer the same question in a different generation. So I don't only talk about it in that way. I also talk about how did this problem even begin? Why did we need a president in the first place?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Whose idea was it that we go from chiefdoms and kingdoms to presidents? Because all that led to a moment, Every single belief we entertain and opinion we generate in ourselves, they piece themselves together and they form a moment, and then another moment, another moment. You are made up of all the moments you've ever experienced. Us being here today is because of moments.
Of events,
Yes, moments that kept happening and happening and happening, and eventually we're here today. So that's basically the inspiration, allowing myself to channel back many, many, many realities ago.
Okay.
And tell everyone else that,
came to this day.
Yes, tragedies can reoccur.
I think one of the things I would like to just ask is, you don't necessarily condone or agree with the things that your forefathers did, right?
I do not, as an artist, I am not, my obligation is not to judge your actions. My obligation is to evaluate the best contribution to the discussion of your actions. I'm probably speaking gibberish right now.
No, you're not. I am following up
Yes.
with what you're saying.
So,
But just maybe for the viewers, people that may not have necessarily understood.
so as an artist,
Yeah.
when you are presented with a murderer and the family of the murder victim, you're basically the court of law of that reality. You don't say you killed, that's wrong, you'll go to hell when you die, so the rest of your time on this earth till that time you go to hell, you're arrested, go in.
Yeah.
And not because you don't believe the murderer is guilty. They are guilty of murder.
Yeah.
But you also have to channel back who was killed. Why were they killed? What made this one kill them? So at the end of the day, you don't come out with... And we don't do that to understand who is wrong. No, we do that to understand how another murder does not get to happen ever again.
Oh.
So my obligation to the history that my grandfathers left for me is not to rule out the bad guy and the good guy. It is to protect my reality from becoming the same kind of history.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm not condemning, I'm not evaluating, I'm not processing out a ruling, because I cannot protect that history.
Yeah, it's already done.
I can protect
this
reality as a history for my daughter. So I would rather march down the street today and protest a history that's about to repeat itself than watch my daughter's heart march down the same streets many years from now.
Oh.
That is my obligation.
Yeah.
When I sit in front of the leader who is said to be oppressing, I do not tell them, sir, you have oppressed, or sir, you are oppressing. I tell them, sir, can I tell you how you could serve us better?
Yeah. You contribute rather than...
I contribute to the next moment so that I can change the previous moment.
Wow.
I don't rebuttal. Because if I begin to rebuttal, there's going to be a lawyer. There's a reason why even a murderer gets a lawyer who defends them.
Yeah.
Whether you could murder on tape and you'll still get a ruling.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Wow.
You understand? Because the rational bit of reality is things don't just happen.
True.
You understand? And that is scary. Things don't just happen. It is scary.
Yeah.
So how I handle two separate situations that are contradicting is not the same way that someone who is just going on with their day would. I sit, reevaluate, and formulate a philosophy that can help me protect the next moment. So I'm just really a protector of the next moment.
Wow. Thank you very much. I think to all those that are watching, you've kind of now understood that maybe just not for him, but for artists in general, it does not just stem from the art or to the moment that is present, but also what previously occurred that leads to that specific action at that specific moment. And most of them either, I don't know if to say most artists, some live for what happened previously and some live for the prevention or the action for the future. And I think what I really like about this is the fact that if we find that our leaders, or if we find that the people that are leading us are not necessarily doing what we hope or what we want, our next course of action should probably be to contribute to actually making a change rather than, going out to, debate or rebut whatsoever, but really just to go ahead and contribute to make a change for the people that shall come right after us. Yep. So we're going to go in just for a little break, and we'll be right back, and we'll be having a very more understanding and conversation right about with arts and everything. All of you that have questions, all of you that have wonderings about how the art world, and actually how I want to know the money aspect. I think many artists run away from the money aspect. So that is one of the things I'm going to ask later on, and be right back after this break. Welcome back from that very, very interesting break. And we are still here with Lus Aziz, and we are understanding a little bit more about what happens in the art world and what happens in performing arts. And as I said previously before we went for the break, is I want to know the money aspect, right? So I want to know, how do artists generally make money? Like, where does your money come from?
Well, where does our money come from? From art.
Because most parents discourage their children, man, I want to become a poet. Where are you going to make the money from? You know?
See, I'm already scratching my head. Not because I don't know where the money comes from, but because I know that my way won't work for every artist in the world.
Okay. Then tell us, what is your way? Let's start from you.
Before I even go to my way, because that would even be misleading. I'll give it to you though. You never know. I want to talk about what people really pay an artist for.
Oh, okay.
Doctors are paid for treating.
Yeah.
Lawyers are paid for
defending
and prosecuting. I don't know what politicians are paid for. But allegedly for civil services.
Yeah, for civil services.
Teachers for teaching.
Yeah.
Who else? Laborers for labor.
Yeah.
Engineers for building and making things up. And artists, on the other hand, do not have a guarantee that they will be paid for the art.
True.
Because like I said, art is not a commodity. Art is not a commodity.
Yeah.
It is only commodities that must be paid for.
True.
There is no must in paying for art.
True.
So any artist who is there and you're creating art and you hope to get paid for it, that's not what's going to get you paid. You will be paid for your contribution in the conversation you choose to have.
Yeah.
You will be paid for your authenticity in that said contribution. You will be paid for standing out in the spaces you choose, in the stories you choose to tell. Not because you're the one telling them, but because multiple are telling the same story, but you've told it differently. You've told it in a way that accommodates, a vast number of people.
Yeah.
You'll be paid for all the other reasons except your art. And that's how it's supposed to be, you see. When I am selling my piece, for example, that piece over there, it's expensive. Not because I spent so much creating it. No, if I tell you how much I spent, you will call me a thief. But even before I began to bring it to life, I understood the value of its contribution to what it is talking about. I understood how it represents that value and who benefits from that value. So the question you should ask yourself as an artist before you even start talking to a collector to collect you is, what am I talking about and who does it benefit? Because that's who buys it. If you can't think of who it benefits articulately, because even when you think of that person, even if I point you to that person, there's also the part where you have to convince them that it benefits them. without having to actually say it directly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you should foster a contribution that doesn't depend on being sold.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense in the sense that, like, you have to think about the people that are going to benefit from whatever you're creating.
Yeah.
You know,
You're paid for your contribution,
Yeah.
not for the art. The art piece is nothing without the story behind it. The reason why when you deal with galleries, they tell you talk about your piece.
yeah,
How would you talk about this piece? What idea is this? Claim it.
true.
You understand? Every collector has asked at least every artist they have worked with to claim the idea.
Yeah,
You know, okay, we see it here. You're talking about, okay, yeah, this lady is suffering in Africa. Claim it. Claim her pain. Let me hear it.
wow,
Because that's what they pay for. If you've seen art that it could somewhat be ugly, being sold so expensively, it's not because of how it looks. It's because of what it says. And even if that piece never sees the day of light again,
yeah,
the story can still be talked about by everyone that has heard from it. I can tell you about a piece that said something without having to show it to you, and you never need to see it.
communicates everything.
Yeah, you never need to see it. But if for me to tell you about my piece, you must see it first, then that's not a piece I can sell. Maybe if I'm doing decorative art, because that's sold according to appearance. But if you ask an artist who is doing the kind of art I do, their opinion about decorative art, we would not have a lot of good things to say. Because we believe that there are more ways to beautify society than, art. Art is not supposed to be comfortable and beautiful and wowing. Well, it can be, it should be, but that's not its essence. Wow. Those are just all the ways we let society have it, Like how kids are not supposed to really eat while sitting on the floor, or not sit in the soil because you just wash the laundry.
Maybe to put a bit of a nuance there, to those that are watching, right? If there's a young artist right there that is looking at you, right?
Yeah.
The first peak is the fact that the art you're selling is, I mean, what you are selling is not necessarily what is visible, not what you are giving to the person, but you are selling like everything that comes with it, the emotions, the claims that you have made towards that piece. Now, to someone who is starting to probably create art, to draw paintings, to draw something, craft something, how would you advise them to make, maybe not make a living, but to start? Like, where do I start? I probably start painting today. I start crafting small things around. How do I actually put it out there?
I will start with a thing a friend of mine likes to say all the time. If you're in art to make a daily income, you might as well just get a job, like, in office or at a petrol station, or sell tomatoes or anything.
Yeah.
Because like I said again, it is not a commodity.
Okay.
If you were just beginning today and you have money issues, continue the art, but you better figure out where to get money other than this art. This art needs all the time it wants to get you money. It will get you a lot of money, actually. You could work on one piece for 10 years while you have a really good job. And when that piece finally brings in money, it will triple the money you've made
from the job,
from that very good job.
Yeah.
Because art is me selling you a piece of my imagination. Imagine I gave you a chip that you could insert somewhere and just
have everything.
See everything I feel. Very many rich people would want to buy that. very many people who can't afford it would still want to buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's guaranteed it's something they have never experienced on their own, and they will never experience on their own. And time comes with people who have money where they are looking for things that, in other words, would never have been experienced. Art is the missing piece,
Yeah.
Art is the thing that convinces you that you are incomplete until.
All right.
Have you ever woke up with that song in your head every day, and you play it every day?
True.
And the day you don't play it, you can feel the incompleteness of that day.
Yeah.
Art is like that. So for the artists who are just beginning, I beg you, do not rush your value. You figure out other, and it's gonna be hard. You're going to starve. It's the starving artist thing is true. I have starved. I have been homeless, and many artists share that story.
Yeah.
But the only reason you finally get a home and you finally get a meal is because you begin to slow down. You begin creating this art, not with the intention of selling it immediately, but with the intention of rounding it up, stuffing it with value that is so heavy. When you begin to sell that value, you'll never have the same problems again.
Awesome.
So, if you're a beginner, it's good that you've begun.
Yeah.
It's better that you continue. But it is best that you do not rush the process.
Wow. That is a very valuable thing to all of you that are watching and all of you that are starting art and probably performing arts and everything in the circle. Now, let's talk about the struggles of the creatives or the struggles of the creatives world. Because and I want us to look at this in a multiverse kind of thing.
Yes.
Right? Whereby, because right now in Kampala there's a very huge creative boom.
Yes.
Yeah. Very many people are experiencing creativeness in ways that they have probably never experienced before. People may have actually seen it before. Videographers, photographers, editors, sound engineers, musicians, poets, and poets, and all that is happening. All that creativeness comes with a struggle.
Yeah.
Comes with things that probably the common man or the everyday person may not necessarily understand. But because you share, you are in this world, I would like to know, what are some of the struggles that these creatives go through that maybe we don't know about?
The most common struggle is loneliness.
Wow.
Artists are very lonely people, and that brings about all the mental health issues. Most of them are lonely because they are broke. Some are lonely because they don't feel like their work is good enough.
Valued, yeah.
Some are lonely because no one understands them. Some are lonely because they want to give up, but they can't get themselves to. So all these reasons of loneliness lead them into self-isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing with artists is every time they are challenged in any way, the first thing that comes to their mind is, let me go spend time with my miserable self.
True.
Lonely, lonely, lonely. I always tell my artist friends, be in people. Get out and be with people. On a very bad day, the first thing you need is people around you.
Yeah.
Because when you can observe other things living on,
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously, you will begin to live on too.
Yeah, true.
The moment you enclose yourself into a space where you're the only life that you're observing, if that life is not making you happy, your life and it's the only life you're observing, you won't find the joy.
Yeah.
You need a charge. So loneliness. And they should start talking about it, because I suffered it a lot.
Yeah.
I suffered loneliness for years. And not because I didn't have friends or I was in a relationship, because my art was not doing well. And I thought it was because of me.
Yeah.
And everyone in my space was like, but you just performed a very amazing poem there. But you even have this gig. But these are... And I knew that that's not enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So loneliness is the first thing. The second thing, obviously, the money. Everyone wants the art.
Yeah.
You see, artists are always busy. We are always busy.
Yeah.
But our bank accounts, the commas are not getting busy, man. The commas are very, 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 very stagnant.
Yeah.
And that is because people are not sensitized enough on
the value.
Not only the value, but the importance of giving an artist their money.
Oh.
You are bound to get better out of me next time.
Yeah.
If you pay me on time today. You see that thing where they complain that these artists, you give them money, they delay, so don't give them money until they deliver.
Yeah.
That speech comes from someone who has paid artists before that had not been paid previously.
Oh.
You will give me a gig and you pay me fully. But the bills I have, I'm going to use this money to pay for these bills, and I won't even have transport to get me to the rehearsal space to rehearse for your gig. And I'll come deliver something that is basic. And you who has paid me fully, you're making a loss.
Yeah.
Even the person who didn't pay me, who will definitely need me again, is going to make a loss. Because when they come back to me the other money so I can perform on Crate again, I'm going to do the same thing. Pay bills and come and just do for.
Yeah.
So we're not getting paid on time, and we're not getting paid enough. I'm saying we because if I don't have that problem today, other people do. And I have that problem too, actually. Not everyone pays me on time. Yeah. I have been blessed that I've reached a point in my art where most clients that reach out, and me, I do mostly performance. I get my money mostly from performance. Most clients that reach out, they already know the value.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always like this. And it's not like this for many artists. Many artists are seen somewhere doing their thing, then this person comes, takes their number, reaches out, and then pays them in platform and exposure. You know? So the platform and exposure, man, what do you want me to do? Give my landlady a hug? She needs money. You know, I can't tell her I stepped onto this stage. It's a big stage, so touch the bottom of the shoe that stepped there. She wants money.
Yeah.
So, we're not getting paid enough, and the little is also not coming on time. Then the other issue is the culture of art consuming is contradicting with the culture of creating art. What am I saying? Art has become something that you can succeed in if you have money to pay for the success.
True.
It used to be the one thing that did not have that propaganda.
Yeah. Nowadays, you need money for a camera, you need money for a good audio, you need money for...
Even that alone, you also need money to sell good art, which means that even bad art, if it has a bigger budget than your good art, it will sell more than your good art. And that is a problem. That is a very, very big problem. Because the world, the end consumer, is only getting the artist that is marketed the most.
Sure.
So the marketeer no longer has the morals of being honest about what they are marketing. They will use the language they'll use their marketing language on the artist that pays them enough to use it.
Yeah.
They will not be honest about the quality of artist or art. They'll only say, literally, you could have art that is really bad, that sucks. And if you pay me enough as a marketeer, I will tell the audience otherwise.
True.
And you could have art that is great. And if you don't pay me enough, I won't tell the audience exactly how great your art is.
I'll
say it's good.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's not how it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
The reason why people like the Bobby Wines and the comedians went out of the ghetto and became millionaires and billionaires was because they created at a time where the end user
was hungry for it.
The end user was not being lied to by the marketeer.
Oh.
The marketeer believed in potential more than
yeah.
They're like, okay, I'll take the money of the bad artists and market them, but I'll also take the money, whatever money or even no money that Bobby Wine is offering, and I'll still market him with the honesty that his craft, delivers. Right now, it's I take as many of the big ones. That's why, to be honest, you're seeing very many Manyanga artists doing songs, and songs are blowing up.
Yeah.
And you're like, this song, the person is really, but the song has, and you'll dance to the song because you are a victim. The end user, you're a victim. You're a victim to that TV station, that television station. You're a victim. So you'll be there on Spotify finding guys like Cohen JC, and you're like, this guy is really, really, really good. But that guy has not yet done that big concert.
Yeah.
But there's the other chick guy who is just there, who is traveling to the UK to perform his just their music to a diaspora, an audience of the diaspora that has just their taste now because their taste has been diluted.
Yeah.
You understand? That is a big issue that we are having. The artists who are beginning now, who has equally the talent that we had and we still have, don't have the same chances we had. Because they have come at a point where the economy has cost us our morals.
Wow. True.
We have traded in our morals to earn more.
Yeah.
You find that a protest artist today is campaigning for the same system they were protesting. They have sold their authenticity so they can pay the rent. You see?
Yeah, it makes sense.
That is why artists are being made poor. That is what you see, these rights we want. They're not hard to give to us. Not many people, actually no one really loses from giving us the copyright rights that way we want them.
Yeah.
The problem is, if they give us, the problem for them is if they give us those rights and we make the money we're supposed to make, we're even more impossible to control than we already are. Now, the only person that can save us is that middleman between us and the end consumer. Because as an artist, despite how much you might try, you can never reach the end consumer on your own.
True.
You can't. The person you think is the end consumer is a collector. The end consumer is that gallery, that museum, and they would rather buy you through a collector than buy you directly. Wow. Only a few of them. And even they hire people, you get, that come to you to buy you for them. So eventually you never, ever, ever reach the end consumer yourself.
Wow.
So you need a middleman who is authentic. I'm not saying they're not there at all. They are there, but they are rare. True. And they are picky too. So that is a problem we have.
All right.
The culture of consumption is contradicting with the culture of creating.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I thank you very much for that. So from here, I guess we now understand a bit of the controversies or the things that these people actually face on the daily. And yeah, I asked him to do us a little performance. He's going to give us a bit of what he's talking about. You understand? We can't have a poet on set. We can't have a poet. And he's telling us all these nice and very good things. And he doesn't deliver some of it. You understand? So he's going to give us a short poem or a big one or a long one. You are going to tell us how you appreciate it wherever you are. All of you that are watching KSTV Youth Platform today, whether let it be later on Sunday. Well, we have a great poet on set, and I would love to hear what he has to say. So we'll be right back, and he'll be giving us a very, very sweet poem. Let's go.
This is a poem I wrote when I was heartbroken. This poem, you'd say it's a love poem, but it could also be a poem about encountering a loss that you're not, or losing something you're not ready to lose yet. It could be a job, a parent, a lover. This is the poem. Loving you is like a house that I did not choose to enter. I just woke up one morning and found myself surrounded with familiar walls and a door that was already locked. There was no noise when it closed, no slam, just a soft click. A click so soft that it sounded like your giggles. I wanted to find the keys, so I checked my pockets first. But I found only old habits and receipts of your laughter and memories from days that mattered to us, yet absolutely nothing shaped like escape. I searched for the keys in the other rooms, as if the keys could be embarrassed, hiding behind the couch or under the bed or tucked under a memory or left carelessly on your tongue that once loved to say my name. And every room I checked remembered you differently. The kitchen still smelled like our plans. The bedroom still refused to forget our weight. The bathroom mirror keeps asking me why I look like someone who was left all alone. The windows are still open, but they only let things in. They never let anything out. You see, these windows are cruel. They show me everything as it is, but not as we planned each other it would be. I know I must have had the key somewhere, because doors don't lock themselves without permission. I must have trusted my heart too much, or must have believed I would never need to leave this house. Now every day, this house grows quieter as I sit on the floor and listen to my heart knocking from the inside, as if it's also asking to be let out of my chest. If you ask me where I left this key, I would tell you the truth. I don't remember ever losing it. I only remember loving you like a place I planned to live in forever. And now my grief of losing you makes me hate some words now, because they arrive already touched, handled too much, with their meanings abusing my mouth. That one of those words is recovery. It assumes a before worth returning to, as if damage is a detour and now it's a new geography. And if a broken furniture waited to be fixed instead of a person learning a different balance, then maybe recovery would make sense. The other word is moisture. It makes intimacy sound clinical. It steals warmth and replaces it with instruction. That word enters rooms uninvited and refuses to explain itself. I hate these words, not because they are ugly, but because they are lazy now. They ask me to feel without asking me to think first, and that's how I got into the house of loving you in the first place. Maybe one day they will earn their weight again in my life, but until then, I never speak around them. I am careful around them, careful not to confuse their familiar sounds with the truth of my pain. So that poem has no title yet. I'm writing a series of poetry titled How We Became Past Tense, and it just came around there. Actually, poems and letters. It started with a competition I joined, which I was one of the winners. It was called Letters We Never Sent. But while I was writing for that competition, I realized there's a lot in me that I could actually compile into a manuscript. And I'm an entrepreneur, so I took the chance to continue to write. The poem particularly speaks about losing something and then longing for it while you regret ever having it. It's a confusion that we all go through when you lose, let's say, a relationship that you knew was toxic, but you loved the person, so you kind of still want them, but you also regret ever wanting them in the first place. So you're just caught between, you're just in this house where you search for the keys, but they're not what you're really looking for. You're hoping to find that person in the house more than you're hoping to find the keys. That's it.
There you have it, guys. It has been a wonderful, wonderful show here with Lus Aziz. I told you that poem, I think many of you are like me. It really was an emotional one. It really touched me. And I don't want to just be like one of those people that be like, hey man, this poem. But that is not something I want to say. I hope all of you have really enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and have a wonderful morning today. And follow us on all our social platforms on Youth Platform, and be sure to watch and catch when you're going to see this on YouTube. And we will be again seeing each other next Saturday. So please tune into the Youth Platform, and bye-bye.